Hello, good morning, my dear friends, my dear family, my beautiful family, my amazing, beautiful wife and daughter, which had to go far from Povokoto and to Bandia during the night time. And also, good morning to my amazing sons, my beautiful grandchildren, and my amazing and beautiful daughters-in-laws. This is, I don't know, it's just a little strange morning for me, maybe related to I was a little nervous of their road trip during the night time as Vina was sick and having fever in Povokoto. But actually I had a quite good sleep, but something is stuck in there today. So I thought, okay, let me walk on the harbor as I have done so many times. Even now it's beautiful, beautiful snow on the ships, on the bridges, on everything here in the harbor. But obviously not cold enough to really having ice on the water. At least not yet. But I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there, as I have shown you before, on the lake in at the beautiful Peace Place. So what do I have to say today? What do I have to share today? Well, the last days has actually been a little tough because my nights has not been very good. But it also meant that I was taking more time to explore and look into the situation in our world. And one of the things I found was actually from a good friend in Australia, a wrap-up, you could say a couple of hours wrap-up of where are we and what is happening. And I mean, that was quite good news for the ones that is following this and for the ones that are patriots around the world towards a change of the system fully, as the pyramid is turned upside down and we the people is getting closer to heaven on earth, and also all the bad guys is truly on their way out. It has an effect on so many things, and we will see it if we are able to open our eyes and our ears. And even it's difficult to comprehend, we have to. So something will happen, and some will like it, some will not. And I just heard a short message in the cafe when I was buying the coffee, and that was all related to someone saying that, well, what happened in the world and what happened in America was the fault of Trump. And that's very funny to hear that, because that's so far from truth. But obviously a lot of people are not following anything else than the normal mainstream media, which is not sharing what is the true stories. They're not sharing what is the true stories about Ukraine and all the labs that they have there and all the child trafficking and human trafficking and money laundering and so on. So if you don't dig into that, of course you don't know. How should you know? How could you know? But enough of that. I think that's part of why it's so sunny and shining today, that the clouds are clearing, and as we can see over there is still some clouds over Sweden, but there is no clouds over Copenhagen. That's interesting. That surely is interesting. Anyway, we cannot see everything in the weather, but we can assume something, and that's what I intend to do. So, what we are going to see now is actually the liberation of our planet, and it has been coming for the last 30 to 40 years, because all this has been planned. Well, so more than 60 years, I would say. So all this has been planned from the beginning, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And everything else that happened after that time has, a sign on it that is about the deep state and the infiltration around the world of deep state roles and deep state rules, where it has been completely distorted related to what we as normal humans should have been experiencing. And the problem is that most of us have probably not even woken up to what has been going on, or seen what has been going on. And I didn't wake up to this until 2008. And thought that life was as life was supposed to be at the time when I had lived my life in that time. But obviously that was not the case. So, because I was told that I had to look into what is actually means that the pyramid of the system is turned upside down and the people is taking over. And it was actually not until 2015 that I started to really understanding what that meant, and started to following what had happened, found in documentary and so on, so that I could start connecting the dots. And luckily I was not the only one that was doing that, so I was joining with other people to understand more and more in depth of what is actually going on and what is all this about and why are we here. And opening for that, I could tell you, has really changed my life in so many ways. Not only becoming more, some will say religious, I call it spiritual, where the whole sense of who I am has changed dramatically the last many years. Becoming I would say, a spiritual guide, but also a spirituality seeker, and understanding what it means to live with God inside. As we all have it, but not everyone is listening to it, and not everyone is using it as a driver or a guide for your own life. So there was a lot of differences and diversities in the world still, and it has to be like that. We are still individual beings, and we have our choices and our free will. So everyone is allowed to choose their way, as long as they are not harming everyone else. And that's what it's all about. So today I think the message from the ocean is that we are on our way. And we will see dramatic changes in the next couple of months. Already starting. But you have to dig into it yourself if you want to follow it deeper. This is what I can share and I'm supposed to share. But I'm not going to dig into the details, because I don't want people to not dig into it themselves. Because I can always say something, but it doesn't mean that people believe it until they start digging into it themselves. And we will have a lot of situations in the future where some believe that we're trying to convincing someone to believe something different, and maybe that's the point. because we have to get on the same plate. We have to support Mother Earth in her ascension. We have to accept that we are getting the help from outside our Earth. And just me saying that is almost too controversial for most. So, but we are on the way, and we are on our way as humanity in the universe. And so it is. From here, I love you all, and I'll see you soon again.